World are joining together to celebrate Zero Discrimination Day. This year's theme is Stand Out, and it encourages everyone to stand for fair and just societies. Discrimination, of course, remains widespread. Gender, nationality, age, ethnic origin, sexual orientation, or religion can all unfortunately be the basis for some form of discrimination. In only 4 out of 10 countries worldwide, do equal numbers of girls and boys attend secondary school, and 75 countries have laws that criminalize same-sex sexual relations. According to UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, when the most marginalized and vulnerable face discrimination and abuse, all of us are diminished. The United Nations is strongly committed to upholding human rights and dignity for all. Discrimination in healthcare settings also continues to be widely reported. Imagine a young woman newly diagnosed with HIV being told by her doctor that she must be sterilized, a sex worker facing violence or abuse from a nurse, a disabled person denied access to proper advice about their sexual health, a gay man frightened of disclosing his sexuality to medical staff, a person who injects drugs dying after being refused treatment, or a transgender person attempting suicide after being turned away from a clinic. Of course, I'm joined today in studio by Nicholas Passod, who is the Stigma and Discrimination Officer at Advancing Partners and Communities. I'm also joined by the Head of Artisan Direct Support, Mrs. Desiree Edgel, and Alexandra Herman, the Key Pops intern, with us today. Good afternoon and welcome to 94 Number 1.
Good afternoon, thanks for having us.
All right, so Zero Discrimination Day. I did a little, background from where you folks would have sent us about what is happening and for an understanding of what is happening. Initially, in 2013, the UN saw the need to make a call for something like this to happen. It first was celebrated in 2014. I would have definitely missed it in 2015. However, I think maybe because of what Guyana was going through heading to elections, it probably passed a lot of people. But this year, with a lot of determination, you folks are focusing on this. And from the Ghana perspective, what are some of the more pressing issues of discrimination that you find? I want to start with you, Nicholas.
Most and foremost, I want to maybe first take the opportunity to highlight that every day our Guyanese brothers and sisters face discrimination in many forms. More so, what we're concerned about is the equal access to opportunities for everyone, access to healthcare services free of discrimination, and that they can pursue normal activities without fear or prejudice in their communities. So we would like to bring attention to the difficulties experienced and faced by not just PLHIV members of the LGBT community, but persons who are differently able, persons of age, and different ethnic background. So basically, there are many different effects of stigma, and we want to ensure that these does not multiply into a greater situation, because with the HIV epidemic, it's a silent killer, and we need to be cognizant of the effects of it and what we can do as individuals to prevent it.
All right. Desiree, you've been working through your NGO, Artisan Direct Support, for a number of years with young people being able to work towards reduction of stigma and discrimination. But in 2016, a lot of people still seem to not understand so much about HIV and continue to discriminate or stigmatize persons who are living with HIV, which is just one of the aspects that we're dealing with here. Does this make you feel as if your 10 and more years in this work is kind of wasted, or does it make you feel as if there is so much to do that you feel sometimes overwhelmed?
Oh, not at all. Stigma and discrimination was there long before HIV and AIDS. And so even before we started addressing HIV and AIDS and stigma and discrimination, people were being discriminated and stigmatized and discriminated against. And so we don't want to say that it just arose as a result of HIV and AIDS. People know about stigma and discrimination. People know the results, what happens if people are stigmatized and discriminated against. What we don't have is people putting that knowledge into behavior change. Changing behavior is not an easy thing, and someone has to want to change in order to change. And so although people have the knowledge about HIV, about how, look at cancer, people know for years that if you smoke, chances are that you're going to get cancer. People are still smoking, but people know the consequences of smoking. So to put that knowledge that people have into behavior change is what is our challenge right now. And so I don't feel hopeless in any way. Sometimes I feel helpless. I always have hope. If we don't have hope, we won't be doing this work that we're doing right now.